Cuffs are off, man.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up, friends? Daniel Dopp here from the Fantasy Focused Football Podcast over on ESPN.
It's Fabs here, Michael Fabiano from Sports Illustrated.
And you know who you can trust if you've got some questions about your fantasy squad?
Want to check out a cool show on YouTube that'll help you get ready for the fantasy football season?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network. If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Head on over to YouTube. Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network because they're doing everything they can to make you a better fantasy player.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
So go and roll your sleeves up, yeah, go and roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting down cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right cause I
What up? What up? What up, world? Welcome back. This is the Get Right Fantasy Network. We're here tonight doing our mock draft of champions, our fourth annual mock draft tournament. Just thought we would get in here and, today is Wednesday, so this is our second day of doing Superflex. They are already going, so let me get into this particular thing. I'm here with my buddy, Frank. What's going on, brother?
What up? What up? What up? It's the third day, by the way.
Oh, it did. Yeah, Wednesday.
Started Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I know. Hey, man,
No
my days are all screwed up. We've been doing 2-a-days for these, so my brain is all over the place at this point. So
yeah, we were a little behind on the start this year, and so we're
just catching up.
We're playing catch up, so we're getting there.
But it's okay because now we just get more people involved and making sure that we can have a great tournament for everybody. Right now they're going into the third round. This is just a normal Superflex mock. So for those that don't know, it is a 1 QB spot, 3 wide receiver spot, 2 running back. I think it's 2 flex or 3 flex. I always forget.
3 flex. I got to look at it again because that's why I was asking Kendall. I was like, usually we don't do that many 3 wide receivers with 2 flex. We do.
I think it's
2 wide receivers and 2 flex, right?
I think it's 3 flex, and then it's also 1 tight end and 1 super flex. So we have a big group here. We got 15 rounds of this, 30-second clock. They're going to be running down this whole thing. Unfortunately, we now have a auto, which I think was a last-minute ad, which is not the end of the world. We got Ant in the house. What's going on, Ant? Great to see you here, my buddy. We got Aiden in the house saying he's got Saquon at the 112, which, hey, man, that does feel like he doesn't have it, but Nick does over at the 112. I mean, that just feels like stealing. The last few days, I've been watching these mocks and seeing how people are doing things. Man, it's a lot different than what we used to do like the last year or two. It's usually been a little up. Thank you, Doc. It's 2 flex. I thought so. But the last few mocks that we've done for the last few years have usually been pretty QB heavy in the beginning and then kind of rounds out. Now it's been a little bit different and a little more spread out. I think people are, especially for 3 wide receiver, a little bit more inclined to go with the wide receiver early so that they can get their start. What's your thoughts on these types of builds? What's something that you like to try to go for when you're building a Superflex team?
I'm glad you mentioned that because last year it was like teams are going boom, 1, 2 QBs right off the bat. I'm liking some of the teams that kind of do a hero QB basically build, right? They get 1 solid QB off the top. Usually it's these 5 that are taken right now, right?
Yeah.
Allen, Jackson, Daniels, Burrow, and Hurts, right? And then that's basically it. After that, it's positional players, wide receivers, running backs. Grab those. Get as many as you can before you feel uncomfortable or another run starts on the QBs. Some people have done 2 QBs right off the bat. Others are doing like 0 QB and they're kind of waiting a long time. I really don't like those teams, quite honestly. I just don't think that the positional advantage is going to outweigh the points that you're losing at the QB position because the QBs do score more. And I just don't think you're going to be able to catch up at that point. I've seen some guys take guys like Aaron Rodgers, and I'm like,
Yeah, it just doesn't look right.
Yeah, it don't. I mean, they're taking him like one guy even took him as like his one of the starters. Another guy take him as a backup. If you have him as a backup, I don't really mind as much. He could be your bye week fill in. Let's hope he plays well.
Yeah.
But I'm liking a lot of these guys with the builds that are just waiting. Some guys are doing running back heavy, like Earl right now. I think Heat yesterday was doing one where he was running back heavy. Other guys go wide receiver heavy because it is 3 wide receivers and 2 flex. So you got to get those wide receivers in early.
Yeah,
Early and often, man.
I mean, yeah, I've noticed that a lot too, where teams that are a little bit more running back heavy just seem a little bit better for me because running back it basically falls off a cliff now at a certain point where you pretty much there's no one to find. And I think that wide receiver is a lot wider and it's a lot deeper where you can find so many other options at this point.
Serviceable wide receivers that you could just fill in, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could the teams of course look good when like Dills is doing with Jefferson and Brian Thomas. Yeah, that always looks fantastic if you can do that. But if you're able to run like a hero wide receiver, if you will, for this type of build comparatively, I mean, it doesn't look half bad. You can grab one of your quarterbacks in like the 3rd or in the 4th and have something serviceable comparatively to a lot of other situations. So all these teams have been doing been doing real great with their drafting. We've really had a really competitive group of people come in these last few days. Please make sure, if you haven't already, please check out the Discord. It's in the description below. It's all over the place. I've been trying to post it everywhere. It's on X. It's on here. It's everywhere. So make sure you jump in. These are where we are exclusively, for the most part, posting it. If we need people, I'm posting it on X as well so that we can get more people in, because we want to have a good variety of people and not just the same people over and over again. We want to get new members, new people into this community. We have a wonderful group of people that are degenerates just like us that really just either love talking fantasy football, talking football in general, or just talking, because we pretty much talk about anything when and if. So yeah. So let's get into.
We got to get the likes up, because I mean, I know that these guys have been drafting with us, and they're probably busy drafting.
Oh, that too.
Watching the stream.
Yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button.
All those 12 guys that are in these drafts got to give us a like for just even being in here. So let's get those likes up, guys. I know you guys are subscribed. You got the notifications on to come over here and check out the content that we have going on this channel. This is entertainment, and hopefully we could give you some good tidbits. We've helped some people win their leagues. I know they've let us know that they watched this, and we've helped them along the way. So it's useful information. Hopefully we dig in enough for you to be able to give you worthwhile content or feedback or whatever it is, help on your trades, however we can assist. If you're looking at waiver wire ads later on, they come in the season, I'm going to be doing just quick short videos on the top 5 guys for the weeks. So hopefully you guys get the shorts, because I know not everybody has the time to watch a full hour video, or 2 hours for that matter, because these are going to be 2 hours because we're doing 2-a-days right now. So it's an extended video time frame now. So it's fun though. I mean, we just dived right into these, especially after I see 100 of these mock drafts. I'm like dialed in, I'm like, okay, this is where so and so's going. We can wait on certain players. Other players, you kind of got to reach for, or just take them when you get them because that's your guy, and that's okay. That's kind of the way it's working. Like Nordafan is pulling off what we were talking about earlier. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, got his 2 quarterbacks. That's some of the better builds that I've seen. They passed the eye test a little bit better to me. Some of these waiting, you can't wait too long on these 2 QB setups. Super flex. If it's a single QB, you can wait. You can wait quite a while.
See, and I'm one of those that it's okay even if you have one decent QB for your particular group and you're running something else in the Superflex. That's completely okay, and that's understandable. That's sometimes better build overall, because Superflex, you can do that and you have the ability to be a little bit flexible, which is great. So it's one of those. It has to be the right person. Like You can't be running your team with just Aaron Rodgers as your QB. I don't think that really would help your particular scenario. When it comes to that, you if you're running to Josh Allen and you don't got any, you don't have anybody else to fill that spot, that's fine too. But it's really based on the build and how it looks. Me, Frank, Kendall, and Phil, we grade these after they're all done. That's why 2 days have been tough on us. We have to get these into you guys ASAP so that you guys know who's in and who's not. We do have a couple people that have been here for a couple of these mocks throughout the week. Doing 2 days, it's a little bit harder to get more people in just because of that. So we're getting everybody in the best we can. We got Ant going, hey guys, I jumped in a mock yesterday, felt like I had a good team, started with Chase. Honestly, I had you almost get in. I did send you I sent you an invite on accident. I apologize. We had to reshift a couple things because we wanted to. We ended up having people that were in it that won it from the 9 o'clock that we had to take out at the 10 o'clock and move it around and make things, work better. So unfortunately, after all said and done, and after everybody adjusted their numbers, unfortunately, you got right outside the top 3 for that one.
He might not have made that. See, here's the deal, Ross.
He was right. He was very close.
Unfortunately, I didn't even grade your team. I thought you were helping us out by being here. And
I graded you.
Hey, most of the time he's, I thought he was being a filler, just being kind. And I don't know if he wants to continue through the whole tournament. And what if he wins it? Then everybody's going to be like crying wolf. And be like, what the heck's the home guy? You're like,
I would grade his harder than everybody else's.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing. It's a bias that we'd have. So we don't give him any favoritism.
I would never.
I literally left him out. I probably would have graded him, and he might have got a number in there, and who knows, he might have made it in. Like that's. I just want to mention that, But Aiden White being here saying, "What up, gentlemen?" He did come up with the "What up, fam?" Come in here.
There he goes.
Aiden's Aiden's at Saquon at 112. Feels like the biggest steal I've seen in a while. Yeah. Oh yeah, it does. It feels good. I mean, some of these guys go a long time, and just I've seen builds where you have some 2 stud running backs, and they're like Barkley and Gianti here, McCaffrey. I've seen McCaffrey and Gianti a couple times. Just because it's super flex, these guys fall to you and it seems like the guys at the back of the end of the draft sometimes seem like they have a better option of players or have the ability to grab these last 2 that kind of, it seems like they have a better build some way or another.
What's going on here? How you doing, brother?
Neanderthal was trying to fill in for us. I sent him the wrong link. I have the wrong. You got to send me the right link, Mike. I have the wrong link. Period.
I sent it to you like 4 times.
I'm telling you, it's the wrong one. He got in a draft for the future. It's a future draft. It's the wrong. We have the wrong one on the sheet. Period. But it's all right. I mean, we'll figure that. That's on our back end stuff. That's what I was saying. That's why there's nobody in there. He did get in on one. Hopefully he could get on. We got another one coming up in an hour, but I think that one's already filled. So you got to go in for tomorrow. Tomorrow we got 2 a day again. So get in on that one. Get on our sleeper Discord, not sleeper anymore. Discord will have the links. You have to click into the thread for the tournament, and you'll see each week listed there with all the links for these drafts. So yeah, I mean, we're doing it. We're moving it.
So Brian's going, Limas is a fantasy genius. So far we have Limas going CeeDee Lamb, Patrick Mahomes, JSN, Nix, Hall, Harvey, Laporta, Flowers. Pretty solid build so far. Not gonna lie. I'm not gonna give away any grading or anything, but it is a nice little build where he's filling in the spots that need to, and I don't mind that build so far.
I like Laporta in the 7th. I'm not liking some of these like Brock Bowers. I'm just down on Brock Bowers this year. Because of Genty, I just don't think that he's going to produce.
You think that they're going to really put it to the like Marshawn Lynch numbers for him?
Yeah, I think they will. I think they're going to run that boy into the ground while they can.
Fair enough. I mean, they have, they don't really have a big room there. I think there's been a little bit of a definitely a shift change in the Raiders locker room with Pete Carroll there. It's a different atmosphere comparatively to having Antonio Pierce there. At the same time, I do believe the same thing that, they're going to run, but I still think that Bowers is going to be heavily involved. I don't think
Yeah,
Pete
I'm not
Carroll's an
saying
idiot.
I just think
Yeah.
it's the draft capital that you're taking up as everybody's taking
No,
round one and redraft.
completely agree. Honestly, I'd rather be grabbing guys. If I'm aiming for the Raiders, I'd rather be grabbing a Jacoby Myers a little bit later in the draft.
Yep.
Especially for full PPR. I mean, here he went at the 8-12. I rather have for a sleeper pick, like one of those guys that I think that can do well in the late rounds, is Deontay Thornton. I think he has a really good ability to be able to be the number 2 for this particular offense, and he already is. He's on the field with the ones all through camp, all through OTAs and everything. He's been the number 2. He is somebody that is 6'5", that runs a 4.3. He's 220 pounds. He's a big dude, and the last guy to do that was Calvin Johnson. I'm not saying he is. I'm not trying to compare the two, but to be able to have that type of skill set and that size, he is going to be someone that is going to be tough. I think they're going to use him a lot, and I think that him and Geno can develop a really good relationship moving forward. I do think that Jacoby is going to stay the way he is, and Brock Bowers will get his. Like I said, he's going to be 3rd or 4th on the pecking order, but I think he's still going to be very involved for somebody that is going to be going at, in the 14th, 15th round in most drafts. I've pretty much, I think I have him in almost every single best ball league that I have, just because of his versatility. That I think that he can be. I think he's going to have a great year to start off. So we'll wait and see how that goes.
And we got 3 guys here at the end. Limas, Doc, and Nick all took 3 QBs now. Yeah, it's been rare. Like the last couple drafts, we had maybe 1 guy, sometimes a sprinkling of 2 guys that would take 3 QBs. These guys have been holding off on taking it. They've definitely put the pressure on the rest of the guys. This is a different draft than most of the time. Some of the other ones we've had. This is a
little more spread out and a little bit more. People are trying different things here, and I like it. I think, I think the whole point of doing this is the ability to kind of test out different theories with different people. Thankfully, we have a wonderful group of people that are very active in this particular, space where everybody is really good in knowing just what they want to do and how they want to do it. And, it gives you an opportunity to kind of get your feet wet, like Rasta said, before your home leagues. And I keep trying to express this and, get you guys out there. There are no autos other than the first 3 picks, which I don't even think they were auto because of the concept that I think he filled his queue, because those were not the players that he would have gotten at those picks. I honestly think that these are some of the best mocks that we do. I think we have the better understanding of ADP than most. And like Kendall says every week, I'd put our guys against anyone in the, out there in the particular industry. And, I think they could hold their own very well. So, let's go over some fun news and notes that have been happening.
All right,
we've gotten some big ones. I mean, I'll start with the big one. The biggest one is James Cook right now getting the bag, my friends. I mean, he lucked out getting what he did. No, I'm only kidding. He definitely didn't luck out. He worked hard to get that. I'm glad that he did. He got a 4-year, $84 million, $30 million guaranteed. Good for him. He wanted 20. Now, that's the great part about this. I did a post back in January, and it was a picture of him going like 20 plus or something like that. And I did this funny video that I thought I was like of Office Christmas Party. It's a funny scene. And, I didn't think that he'd get something like that. I mean, I don't think anybody did. He got 30 million guaranteed. Are you happy that this has happened? Everyone.
I am.
Yeah,
I'm glad it's over. It solidifies where you're taking them. You didn't want them to have to sit out.
Agreed.
A game or 2. Who knows? You know what I mean? You just didn't want to have this situation. And then, of course, missing practice. Then it puts him even more behind the ball because maybe he's not in football shape yet. Isn't syncing with the offense. Those kind of things happen because that holdouts cause issues. Now that he signed, it's like you're where he drafted him at. You're feeling comfortable. You're good. You got a solid running back. It's full steam ahead now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's go.
Oh, he definitely makes makes me happy in my loins when it comes to Dynasty, knowing that he's got another 4 years. We don't have to be too scared of Ray, but kind of with Ray Davis. He's there. He's definitely going to be nipping at his heels. But at the end of the day, that he's signed for the next 4 years. He's pretty stable moving forward.
So now you know better about salary caps and things like that than I do.
I can figure it all out.
The thing is guaranteed money doesn't count against the salary, right?
I don't know how it fully works, but I do know that guaranteed money means that they are comfortable with him moving forward the way that they are. I mean, he's currently, I believe, let me double check my math here. I think he is number 1 right now. No, he is where? Well, this didn't update. Over the cap hasn't updated yet. When it does update, I'm assuming he'll be at the top. I mean, his $30 million is number 2 to Saquon Barkley. Saquon's getting 36 total guaranteed. Christian McCaffrey's at 24, so he's going to be at 30. So that's going to be significant. His numbers are a little bit higher. I believe his numbers are, he's got the 4-year contract comparatively to Saquon. So he's got a higher contract, but less, and more total, second total. So, team was smart in how they negotiated and try to get it. He's got about, I think they were smart. They all waited. They all talked. They made sure that they got their numbers right, made sure they were both on the same page. He wanted to stay in that particular on the Bills. So it's a big deal. Now, the other question is, we had another signing as well with Cortland Sutton, during the year. And then now we're just kind of waiting for Terry McLaurin to get his money and, when they're going to be signing him. Do you think he's somebody that could be getting a contract in the next week or two?
Oh, yeah. He's got to get signed over there. I mean, they would be dumb not to. They'd be dumb not to.
He was seen with.
Who are they going to get instead?
He was. I think he was at practice today. Chilling with the GM or something like that. So we'll wait and see how that turns out. We got Dill with a question here. Dildos. I love it.
He's funny.
Oh God. And I love his avatar. Just a shriveled dick. Anyway, Quinshawn gonna bite me again as a pick in these mocks, but round 12. When do we draft this guy? Honestly, that's a great question. So let me look at your team here. You got him.
He's still pretty injured. I'm not sure when he's going to hit the field.
No. This has to do with the with Junkins for the Browns. So here's my 2 cents on that. Right now,
I thought he was the one that was injured.
No injury. No, this is the one that had the battery against his former ex or whatever it is.
Oh, that's what he
domestic dispute.
That's what it is.
It's a big thing. And then he waived his right to a speedy trial, which is another thing. There are a couple aspects to that as well. First and foremost, if you aren't already, you should be following Drew Davenport. He is one of the best in the business when it comes to these types of legal issues. His day job is a defense attorney, so he knows these little nuances. So I would definitely reach out to him to get more. He has a whole thread on this. I've read it. It's just been a minute since I've looked at it. What I do know for this, if you're having him as your running back like 4 and he's just going to be a bench piece, that's fine. The only thing that you have to really worry about is the concept that if he goes on to the commissioner exempt list, he's pretty much he's not going to be no platform holds commissioner exempt, just so you're aware. That's the only issue. If he was going on IR, if he was on the PUP list or something like that, I'd be a little bit more like, oh, you can draft him wherever and it's fine. This, we don't know what's going to happen. And we're unsure about when his trial date's going to be. And he hasn't signed his rookie contract yet. That's the thing that's getting everybody a little held up, is that he hasn't signed his contract. So until that point happens, I think it's a little scary to draft him at all. Not saying that it's a bad thing to not draft him. He is, if he were to play, he's gonna be a stud. I just think that at this point, if you're gonna draft somebody like him, you're almost entitled. Like I wouldn't say entitled, but you're almost obligated to draft Dylan Sampson in that last round, so that you're able to have someone solidify his position on the Browns.
No Jerome Ford?
Maybe. I mean, Ford isn't a horrible option either, because if Junkins isn't playing, Ford probably moves up a little bit. But Dylan Sampson isn't a horrible option either. For those that are still doing Dynasty late, I mean, I'm not going to lie, our draft, my rookie draft is in a couple weeks. It's one of those things where, do I draft Junkins at any point in a Dynasty? Yeah, I have to. Redraft, I don't really want to touch him. Yeah. I haven't touched him in a lot of leagues. Best ball, I'll touch him. Oh, God, I hate when I catch myself. I'll definitely take him in best ball, Dynasty. Redraft, I'm trying to avoid, because then I don't want to deal with the headache, honestly. I don't want to deal with having to know if, needing to know if I'm going to play him or not, especially if I'm drafting him like today. I know a lot of groups are going to be drafting their leagues in the next week or two. I mean, home league drafts are usually within the next 2-3 weeks. So I'm trying to avoid them until I know better, just so that I don't have to worry about it as much. But in the 12th round, it's not bad. And he's your running back 4. If he was your running back 2 or 3, I don't mind it, but I prefer, maybe your last pick, at this point. So
yeah, I would agree with you. I'm right there with you. I wouldn't, have to want to deal with whether you're going to start the guy or not.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and do you want the availability of him? You want the upside that he offers, but
which is huge.
What cost? At what cost?
If he doesn't have this over his head, he's in the 2nd, 3rd round. Or sorry, he's in the 4th round. Without even a question. That's the problem. His skill is way better than what people give. Like right now, he's dropping so low because of this particular scenario. He dropped in my rankings ridiculously low. And it's only because of that. If I were to find out right this moment that he changed, he'd probably be in my 20s, early 20s. So it's a really tough scenario. And when I have a tough scenario like those, I pretty much don't want anything to do with it. So Dill goes, my thought process was every running back, there is a handcuff. And if you wait their turn anyways, I'd like the upside of Jenkins if he gets the green light. And that's exactly the point. It's hard not to, because he does have the upside that you would want. I just don't know if I want to waste a pick on it, because in this case, you're missing out on a possible Keenan Allen. You're missing out on a possible, his backup with Dylan Sampson. You're Ray Davis, Douglas,
and Sampson was taken by somebody else. So
yeah. I mean,
Ford was also 1 round later.
So I would have probably wanted to pair him with somebody if I want to, but then you're kind of caught. If you're kind of in a tough place when that happens. So Breaking goes, he likes Heat, Pick, and Earl builds so far. So you said that before. The 109 is Aiden's favorite spot. Okay, I do like it. I'm liking some of these builds. Aiden goes, Heat also, I think, might struggle with that 3 wide receiver spot, or 3rd wide receiver spot. Would have been nice for Judy to slide to him there, but the rest of the team looks good. Yeah, see, none of those. Yeah, and I get that too there, Dill. I mean, having one of those 2 guys, it's really tough. I mean, I get how those certain guys aren't really, for lack of a better term, tickling your taint to make it where you want to be happy to have them on your team over a guy like Junkins. I get it. Completely get it. I'm not willing to take the risk. But
honestly, I wouldn't touch any of those, any of the running backs over there with the Browns. So
yeah. So Aiden goes, at this point in the process, I also think there's a higher likelihood that James Conner or Christian McCaffrey get hurt then all of the junking issues get solved. So guys like Garendo and Benson, I would still prefer. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd prefer those guys. I like Braylon Allen a lot more in that scenario. If you're looking for backups, Braylon Allen, I think, is probably the best, if not the best, handcuff guy to pick up. With all the news about the concept that Breece Hall is at the point where they might trade him in the right before the trade deadline. If
Really?
if they do, yeah, I keep hearing a lot of chatter about it. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen, just maybe. And even with the maybe, that's pretty significant. And on top of all that, yeah, no, I know he was taken. I'm just saying, I'm just giving you examples.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just giving you guys that I would really rather want. I mean, him, Madison, but anyone else after that, like Benson doesn't really scare me or make me want to take him. Ray Davis, I'd like a little bit. I like him a lot better. Like who I just mentioned. Just because I think they're going to try to tone down a little bit of what James Cook does. I don't think he can realistically keep up the touchdown upside that he had last year. He's going to have regression. So at this point, Davis is a good handcuff for him in general, or a good person to have. Tyler Algier is another guy. He will step in. He is a clear RB1 if given the opportunity, in my opinion.
I still can't believe guys like Jalen Wright is going so much lower.
Jalen Wright, I'm not a big fan of. I like Ollie Gordon a little bit better. I just like his I just like his size a little bit better, and he's just a lot more. He's just a bigger back. I mean, he's a big
goal
dude.
line opportunity for this guy.
He's a 6'2", 225 guy, and he's quick too. I mean, I think he's just a better build than Jalen Wright. You even hear Tyreek Hill saying, don't give it, or did he say give it to Wright? I think he said give it to Wright.
Yeah, he was hating on H-N.
Yeah, I knew he was hating on H-N, but I don't remember who he said to either give it to Wright or Ollie. Either way, I mean, if I'm McDaniels, I'm going to Ollie. So that's just me. Aiden goes, do you think what?
Pogamayathon?
I have no idea what that is. Was
able
to fill out this. Oh, you're talking about Pog Malav. Okay, he's the guy at the end. Do you think Pog was able to fill out his wide receiver and running back rooms after taking 2 QB and 1 tight end in the first 4 rounds? Seems super high risk, high reward. How do you guys feel about what he did? So let me take a look at it. So right now,
he's number 1.
We have Josh Allen, AJ Brown, Trey McBride, Justin Herbert, Smith, Monty, Caleb, Myers, ETN. Man, some. I don't hate this team, honestly. I think this is more of a bubble team at the end of the year. The hardest part is that you are missing out on running back. That scares me a little bit, but I think you got 2 guys that I feel that are going to be pretty solid RB2s. So you're pretty much running with 2 RB2s at this point with Monty and Caleb Johnson. Travis Etienne could be a steal for you at the end of the day. So you really do have a good group of running backs right there. We have news that Javonte Williams has been taking first team reps, and he's been the main guy so far and the one that's looking good. Granted, there's been conflicting reports because I keep hearing one day it's Javonte, the next day it's Miles. So you never know in this, for the Cowboys, they're a clusterfuck. Sorry, Frank. Beyond that,
we'll get straightened out. Don't worry about that.
But I mean, he ends up taking 2 backfields with the Jaguars and the Dallas Cowboys. I don't like doing that. I don't like kind of hedging my bet when it comes to that stuff either. I'd want to spread it out a little bit more. I would have probably gone with a Hunt or Ollie or Dottle or something like that instead of Miles Sanders when you already have Williams. They're not anybody that you need to handcuff unless you feel like the Cowboys are going to be something good this year, which, let's just be fair, Frank. We both know that your offensive line is just a bunch of Tylers that are getting hurt.
Yeah, it's tough, and I agree with you. I definitely don't stack players like that. It's kind of the same situation. Would you be taking Junkins, Sampson, and Ford? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You wouldn't want
I
to
wouldn't
take
go
two
that
of
far.
those.
No.
You know, I mean, even just two of them. You know what I mean? You don't want to
Mm.
have those. You pick the guy that you think is going to be the horse in the team and roll with it. If it doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out. But I wouldn't double down by, oh, let me get another guy. So I end up with one guy that's actually playing. And next, it's not even either one of these guys. It's
Yeah.
actually Jaden Blue.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's gonna be Jaden Blue because he just can't pass protect and he's just been having a rough camp. My whole thing with your particular backfield for Dallas, I am more on board with Javonte. I think he has the ability to do well for this particular offense and be able to run it the way that they need to. He's a good pass catcher, and he's also just good between the tackles when need be. He has a good burst. He's a year past the ACL injury that he had. He had good burst prior to that, so it might be a little bit less than normal. I think Dak's going to spread the ball out like normal. I think that Pickens is better than what I expected him to be with Dak because
Yeah,
he's
they seem
got
to
a
have
better
good chemistry.
QB.
It's going good over there.
He's got a better QB. That's what it is. I mean,
That's all it is,
when
really.
you
It came down to
essentially
that, right?
when you're essentially getting the ball from guys like Russ, who I'm not saying is a bad quarterback, but it's not the same thing. It really isn't. He's getting the ball from Dak, who I understand all the criticism that Dak gets on a daily basis. The guy, when he starts and when he plays and when he's on the field healthy for a full season, the guy's QB5 or better. You can't argue those numbers. And he's got CeeDee Lamb to take some coverage off of him. I think Pickens has an opportunity to do well. I'm not a big fan of the actual player of Pickens. Like, I don't like him. I think I honestly just don't like him. I think that he has a lot. I think he has an ego that's too big for him. And he's still got to learn to be a little bit of a he's got to be more of a team player overall. You can just tell he's just a little selfish in how he does things and how he's, I just don't like his style. Like, he's just a route. He's a glorified, 9-route guy. But like I said, this is my opinion on him. I don't know anything about him. This is just what I see from, just game tape and, in general. I don't want to single him out. It's just, I don't know. He's just a boomer bust guy to me. He's no one that I want, that I'm relying my team on. So for him as a wide receiver 2 for my team, I just don't feel comfortable if I'm holding.
I'd have him as a wide receiver 3. That's
Yeah.
where I'd be comfortable as a wide receiver 3, having him as that with hopefully the upside of having a wide receiver 2, because I think he may be more consistent here with Dallas and get you those more consistent points versus not just being
100%.
Boomer bust type of guy, right? If he could get past that boomer bust type of guy, it'd be more of like a wide receiver 2 situation. But I'd be drafting him as a wide receiver 3. That's what I'd be looking at.
100%.
That's the area I'd be looking for him at, and be comfortable there.
I mean,
that way I don't have super high expectations. And if he does really well, I'm happy about that. Then I got value for the pick, or else, I'm not like, oh, I shouldn't, I took him too early. Now I'm just like screwed, right? Because then
100%. And I mean, if you're looking at his numbers, he's only, last season he wasn't even wide receiver. He was wide receiver 5 or better for 2 weeks.
Right.
That's it. For 2 weeks, he was that. He had 7 targets and 9 targets for 5 catches each, and he had a touchdown, and that's about it. Like, well, and he had 111 yards and the 90, the 91. So that's his biggest thing. Otherwise, outside of that, he didn't even break 20. It was 23 was his best.
Yeah.
So I can't be in love with a guy like that. But I think that Dak definitely increases his chances moving forward to be a little bit better. So I'm hoping that happens for the fantasy sake. I do not want it against my Giants. But beyond that, it's going to be
against Giants. Dak has the number for you guys.
Yeah, he does. Unfortunately,
I don't know what it is, but
I don't get it either. But either way, we'll have to wait and see. But to answer your question, It is a
On
little
that
bit
note.
of a risk.
What up, them
but
boys?
it's not that bad. Yeah, as I see them boys in the chat, being the other Cowboys fan. At this point, I don't hate the build. I don't hate those particular scenarios. I think he got sniped for DeAndre Swift. I think that would have been a better fit instead of Monty, or be able to put Swift and Monty together. Would have been a
mind
little bit
Monty. Yeah,
nice.
he would have been way better off if he got Swift the money.
But at the end of the day, I think Monty is still a viable guy as a solid RB2. I think he's somebody that's reliable and will consistently be there to help every week.
He got signed and paid, and if anything happens to Gibbs, he's a workhorse over there.
Oh,
sure.
100%. And I still think they're going to use
and he's
him
still
the same
serviceable.
way.
That's what that's the other part of it. It's like you can still
See,
start the guy.
The crazy part about a guy like Gibbs and Monty, when they're both on the field, they pretty much run, I don't want to say a 50-50 split, but they pretty much run something close to a 60-40 snap count. And it gets to a point where Gibbs does more with his particular touches than Monty does somewhat. So let me get an example here. Hold on one sec. Let me just bring up my my stuff. So essentially, if you look at the numbers, hold on, I gotta change it to percentage, because of course I have to talk in the percentages. It was 51 Gibbs, Monty 49, 62 35, Monty 51. And it just keeps staying in that particular realm of 60-40, and they keep bouncing back and forth with one another. It's also
depends on who the hot hand is for that particular
100%.
game. They run that guy a little bit more on that specific game, and then they switch back the other way. I think they're doing they start 50-50 and just give it a little bit more of the high end for the day, right?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, if you're looking at their particular averages of how they touch the ball, Gibbs got a 56-41 for Monty. So, I mean, overall, that's pretty good. And Monty was out for 3 games near the end of the year. So if you average that in and throw that back up, it's pretty even split overall. That team, their offensive line is probably one of the best in the league outside of the Philadelphia Eagles. They lost Frank Ragnow. That's the only big hit to their offensive line, which is kind of a big deal, but they made it work because, Frank was hurt most of the year anyway. So I do think that this offense is still going to run. It's still going to do what it's been doing. Ben Johnson was a huge help, but not everything. It's, the players involved are what made that team work. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with both teams. So we will see. Some other news I wanted to get into.
Yeah, circling back. So follow us on the Discord there. Join our server, because Mike does post all these news and notes and everything, and we have it up to the minute.
I try my best to get them out before Sleeper does. I do have a day job. And I try not to get behind on my work, but if I have the moment, I can do it. I do. I try to make sure that you guys get all, the best news and sources, all that fun stuff, guys, that you can follow on a daily basis. I will always recommend people while I'm in there. We have our injuries thread as well as our news thread that I try to get you guys either or. In this case, there's a ton of injuries out there that people might not be aware of. Will Clapp, for the Saints, their center, he's going to be out for an extended period of time. I think they finally decided on the year. I think he got surgery and he's going to be out. Trevor Penning, who just moved to guard, just hurt his foot. He should be okay for the start of the season, but not good that he's hurt prior. We want to make sure that, but that line is pretty hurt at this. Oh yeah, no, it's official. Will Clapp is missing the rest of the season, as per Jordan Schultz. So just be aware of that. It's kind of a big deal for the Saints, with whoever that particular quarterback is, either Spencer Rattler or Tyler, not Shaw. Oh no, it's Shaw. Anyway, just be aware of that. Some other big news. Just keep an eye on the Malik Neighbors thing. I don't think people fully understand what's going on with Malik Neighbors. It's a shoulder injury. He kind of screwed it up in training camp a couple days ago, making a really big catch. His scenario, he just hasn't practiced in like 4 days, which is a little concerning. But just keep an eye on it. No one cares about Jalen Hyatt at this point, but he's also hasn't been able to play because of injury, hasn't been able to get opportunities. A little sad for him. Want him to do well. Tyreek Hill returned to practice. Tyreek Hill has been out with an oblique injury the last few days. So he's back at practice though, which is good. So hopefully that works itself out. One guy that I was surprised to see is AJ Brown is currently dealing with a hamstring injury. He hasn't practiced in the last few weeks. I saw the video of him walking up. He looks okay. Now, granted, these guys are a lot bigger and stronger than I am, and I'd be walking with a limp.
Right.
But ultimately, he has been out. Landon Dickinson is going to be out for them as well. That's another center, man. That's a lot of centers that are hurt currently. So hopefully he gets better for that line's sake. I do post some IDP stuff, just so you guys are aware if you need it. Browns, Shador Sanders, he got an oblique injury this week as well, so he might be held out of this next game coming up. So just be aware of that. He was scheduled to start on Saturday. We'll wait and see how that goes. Because right now Pickett and Flacco are not going to be participating. So that leaves him and Dylan Gabriel. And Sanders had a really good outing. I mean, did you get a chance to check out the game there, Frank?
No, unfortunately, no.
So from what I saw, he had a rough start. He needed a little bit of time to kind of get used to the speed of the game. But then I think he settled in pretty quickly. He did pretty well with his 2 touchdowns. They were pretty, they were good. I mean, he was able to track and, on the run, it was pretty good. He got a couple of runs himself. He looked solid. I thought Jackson Dart looked good. I don't want to compare the two, but I thought the rookie QBs overall did a, pretty good job for the ones that are out there. So yeah.
Yeah, this year's highlights, he looked decent, right?
Yeah, the highlights were good. Some of the the miscues were a little off. You could tell that, and he was very hard on himself after. And very humbled. And hey, I think they asked him the grade, and he was like, "Oh, I'm like a C-." And I'm like, "Good for you, man." Like, at least he's showing a little bit that he's humbled by a little bit of maturity.
The NFL and his draft position straighten him out a little bit. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe. I mean, at the end of the day, we'll see how that all works out. But he's got 5 people in that QB room right now. Joe Flacco is probably going to be the lead guy, and I don't blame them if they do, because why throw him out there to the wolves when you can have a guy like Joe who can just manage the offense and move things around the way that you need. I mean, he's a solid QB. He's always been that type of guy. So we'll wait and see how that all turns out. What else is going on?
Let him sit back there for a year, maybe even a year.
That's what I would do. Vrabel is saying that Ramondre is dealing with an injury that he suffered in the preseason game, so he's going to be out a couple days. Trayvon Henderson.
Well, Ramondre Stevens is already being drafted really low.
Yeah,
I think it's too low.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's too low, but Henderson,
I feel like they even with his counterpart, now you may forget his name, Travion Henderson Hendo, is on the field with them. It's still going to be maybe a 50-50 split. And I feel like that New England is going to go back to what New England does best and do running back by committee. They're
going to have to, but they still. Henderson looks much.
I know his stock
dynamic.
skyrocketed. I was mentioning that on the last show when he ran it back. I mean,
he looks
getting
good.
His first touch in the NFL is a 99-yard kick return.
He looks.
That's a start, right? Like it, and the rest of it still looked good. Yeah, and every touch that he had was like all right. I mean, one of them.
Oh, for sure. Another bit of news to be aware of.
Ramondre Stevenson is going the 8th round here. What is that?
No, 11th. He went in the 11th, and Henderson went in the 5th. I mean, yeah, Henderson's not a bad pick, but to me, he's barely a flex option. Yeah. A little bit of news. Right now, I mean, it looks like Matthew Golden has been doing pretty well in camp. It's really because he has no one there to kind of challenge him. He's got Jaden Reed, who's currently dealing with a foot injury or ankle injury, one of those two, lower body injury. Christian Watson currently dealing with his ACL, trying to come back. Right now, Romeo Dobbs is hurt with day-to-day with a back injury, which he should be back soon. Dontavian Wicks also has a calf injury. So there's a bunch of injuries going on for the Packers. We have Jordan Love, who's also going to be out until week 1 with a thumb injury. He ended up needing thumb surgery. Remember, it's on his non-throwing hand, which is better, but still not helpful. You're going to see them probably,
I thought he was going to start during the season.
Oh, no, he will.
Yeah.
But the whole point is that he's not going to probably be doing a lot of handoffs with his left hand.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's one of those things that just be aware of for the first few weeks. That might be a thing. Another guy to keep an eye on is Luther Burden. He's earned some strong praise over the last few weeks for the work that he's put in and getting to know Ben Johnson's offense pretty well. So right now he's doing pretty well as per Jordan Schultz. So make sure you guys keep an eye on Luther Burden. So Neanderthal goes, what draft position are you putting Mike's boy Tracy at, or what round?
There you go. Tyrone Tracy. Where are you taking to that?
First off, love Tracy. So pick got him currently in the 9th round. 8th or 9th is fine by me. I would probably go in that. Yeah, he's about that for me based on what I see off the board. I personally think he's one of those guys that can win your league. A lot of people are against that for a couple reasons. A lot of it has to do with them drafting Scatterboo. Let's all remember real quick. They drafted Scatterboo on day 4 or day 3. Sorry. Day 3 in the 4th round. That he's a good pick. They got him for a steal in that context. If people thought he was good enough to be in the 3rd round and they got him in the 4th. Yeah. But the guy can't pass protect, and he's having a rough time in camp with that. He's hurt currently. So it's one of those scenarios where I think Tracy always has had that particular spot locked up. I think that they are going to use him like crazy. I think he's going to get at least the 60% of the snaps on running back. They will use Scatterboo in short yardage. That's fine. I think they're going to use are you talking about Scatterboo or Tracy? Because a lot of people tell me Tracy, and I'm like, I saw one fumble and then he was fine. But overall, he's going to be involved. Russell loves to check the ball down. I think he was 3rd in checking the ball down last year. In Pittsburgh, he was 2nd when he would. Yeah, I was going to say it was Scatterboo. He was 2nd when he was in Denver, checking the ball down. I mean, Tracy's role as a former, he's a former wide receiver. He's gonna get the ball in the back, out of the flat. And it's just going to be something that is going to be part of this offense because Russ can't throw it downfield anymore. Russ is not like he can, but he needs the guy to be like wide open. Like there's no chance that I just honestly think that Neighbors is going to get his. He'll get his 10 some odd targets per game. You're going to have Wandell as the number 2. And then you're going to have Tracy right behind him. I think that they're going to try to get him more involved. I see Tracy being a top 15 back at the end of the season. I've already said my bold prediction is he'll be a top 15 running back this season in PPR, full PPR. I think he can get to the 8 or 9 touchdown type area, which will be helpful. So I'm all in on Tracy this year.
There you go.
Not just because I'm a Giants fan, because I
Aiden saying it's 10 fumbles in the last 2 seasons, he believes there. So.
For Scatterboo?
Scatterboo, yeah.
I believe it. I definitely believe it. Scatterboo,
And he's injured, right? He's injured.
He's injured right now. My whole thing with Scatterboo, I think he's a very gritty dude. I think he's the perfect pick for a Giants team and like for a New York team in general. Just like that, he has that particular style about him that just screams New York. I love that. I love the kid. He has that freaking, on Ma Bradshaw, just put your shoulder down and run into dudes. And he's quick. He's got good hands. I like the kid. I really do. I have nothing bad to say about Scat, but I don't think his ability will affect what Tracy does. I just don't see where they're going to, they have a great thing with Tracy. There's no point in trying to ruin that at this point. So that's just my 2 cents on it. I do like him a lot. I enjoy taking him as my third running back because I know he's going to be my second or better. So, or if I'm looking to punt on the running back, which let's just be fair, never happens in my life. I pretty much will try to grab him anywhere I can. So do your best trying to steal him from me in drafts. So we have our second round of mock drafts coming up. We are currently, I'm just going to change this up real quick while we are waiting. We have our other group that is just waiting and chopping at the bit right now, from what I can tell.
You can throw the board up so it's ready when
I got it. I'm doing it.
Right.
I'm working on it.
On that
It's going to take me a sec. I got 3.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
No, do your thing, brother. Right. Yeah, I got 3 screens I'm playing with, so give me a hot second for me to be able to do all this while I'm on the air with you guys, and I got cameras in the way and all different types of fun stuff. I have a new setup that I like, so yeah. All right, so let me get this grouping up here. Let's add that to the stage. There we go. So we got our next group waiting, and we got Hershey, them boys in the house over there. He's going to be on the stream as well. We got Breaking Ball. We have Bubba. We have D Premier, Troy Berg, Earl, T Train, Ralph Dens, Lando Nice, Softball Girl, welcome, and Josfar. So I'm glad to have everybody here tonight. Thank you so much for joining. For those that are watching, those that are in the particular mock as well, good luck to all you in there. We do have a couple people that have already moved on. We have Breaking Ball that has already moved on, but he's joining us to help us out. I believe Earl did too. I don't remember off the top of my head. I got to remember. Too many. We do too many of these and too many names thrown out. I have to keep track of it with a tracker. That's the only way I'm going to remember. But we have all that going on for you guys as well. Make sure, if you haven't already, check out our Discord. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. We really appreciate it. It's going to be a huge help for the algorithm to get us up there. So that more people can watch us, because we want more people in our Discord. We want more people in our community so that we can get more people in these drafts. And I'm so glad that we were able to get some new people in here. So I'm really excited to see what these guys can do. Kendall is going to be getting this started at 10 o'clock. He's very punctual, so I have no doubt that this will be done shortly. Once we get that going, we'll talk a little bit more about that draft. Some other news, notes, injuries, things like that are going on. Nothing more than what I already mentioned. There are a few people a few little types of notes. Matthew Stafford still not back at practice. Oh, look at that. The stroke of 10, and we're off. So guys like Matthew Stafford, he hasn't been practicing. I think that has brought down some guys like Devontae Adams and Puka. That's something I'll definitely be talking about with Frank in a minute, because I'm kind of curious on his thoughts on that.
What's up? What's going on?
Oh, there he is. So I have a question for you there, Frankie, while you're getting settled in. My question for you. So right now, Matthew Stafford is currently not back at practice. Do you think in any way, shape, or form this affects guys like Puka or Devontae Adams?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So are you drafting these two, like Puka or Devontae, or are you pretty much punting them now because of the concept that you don't know what Stafford's issue is, like how it's going to be handled.
Yeah. I've been drafting them.
Okay.
So I've been taking them. However, as time is going on and as we get closer to the season, I think they gave him a epidural in his back and this and that.
They did.
And he's been a warrior. We were Kendall and I were talking about this, and he's a warrior. I mean, the guy plays through dislocated shoulders and all kinds of stuff. They scrape him off the floor, and he gets up and throws another pass, and sometimes touchdowns or whatever it is, and he just does his thing. But if that continues, I don't know if he could finish out the season. If that's the
You're
situation. Like, you know what I mean? It's somewhere along the line, he's going to start, take a hit, one too many, and boom, done. Oh, look, there it is. The DeJounte McCaffrey stack that I was mentioning, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps happening. It's not a bad move. I don't particularly like it for a 3 wide receiver group.
No,
I'd prefer it in 2 if we're doing that, but it's not a horrible situation. I'd rather have, a Genti and Neighbors, or having Neighbors and
that's what you skip on the Puka and go Neighbors instead. That's what I was taking right here.
Yeah, I probably would have went Neighbors where Puka went, but everyone has their own way of thinking about it and what they're looking for. We all, if you want, we also have our particular website as well. We have our rankings posted. I know Frank is going to be working on his soon. Mine are posted currently. I know that Kendall is in the process as well.
Kendall and Phil, we'll get them guys up next.
Yeah, so we're going to get you guys up there. Just make sure.
Fix my light.
No, do your thing, brother. Make sure you check out our website. We also have merch on there as well. So if you guys need anything, get right, you can always do that as well. Frank, put your pants on. I'm kidding. Reminds me of the Zoom meetings. That's when too much. That reminded me of the Zoom meetings where the guy has underwear on and he just stands up.
Oh yeah, he just stands up and he's suit and tie at the top, but there's just underwear just hanging out.
Hey man, it's work from home life. That's how my life is on a daily basis, so I get it. I always have a shirt right next to me just in case.
Yeah, see, that looks a lot better. I'm not all looking red.
Nah, you're good.
What's going on? I should have turned that light on before.
Oh no, you're good. See, I have my camera in front of the photo of where we currently are, so it's one of those I can barely see you, so I just let you do your thing, brother.
Oh, okay.
Beyond that, so your view is you're trying to stay away if possible, but you have no problem drafting them.
I have no problem drafting them. But
I know. I mean,
Puka's a beast, right? And like I said, Stafford will suck it up. But you just got to be. I mean, nobody wants any kind of injury or anything like that. No. But it's scary when they get an epidural in your back, man. That's the serious back numbing situation
100%
right there. You know what I mean?
I deal with my own back problems on a daily basis, and needing it. I don't need an epidural, but if you need an epidural at that point, that's insane. I think that's
some serious stuff right there.
He's been dealing with back issues. He played a whole season with a broken back. So this happens. He's had cracked vertebrae before, if I remember correctly. His back is all messed up. So I give him a ton of credit for even being out on the field. So he'll be fine in that case. It's just, do you feel comfortable with a guy like Jimmy G or Stetson Bennett running that offense for you to be able to have the production that you might have had with Puka? Or does this?
I don't feel so bad with Jimmy G. Jimmy G played the other day and he was throwing some nice darts there.
I was going to say he looked good against your Cowboys.
Yeah, he did. He did look good. So I mean, I'm not going to say nothing away from that guy.
Okay.
So enough. That part of it, that's why I still would draft him, because not Stetson on the other hand. No.
Stetson. Okay, let's just be clear. I'm a big fan of Stetson Bennett. I kind of hope
okay.
I want him to do well. I want him to do. I wish him the best. I really do. The guy went through some shit. Uh-huh. And he's really at a point where I thought he had the ability to take over that role if and when Matthew is no longer able to. Stafford is one of my favorite QBs that is currently playing that's on the older side. he is one of my favorite to watch. He is always throwing for 4,000 yards. He's always willing to take a hit. He's always been a solid Iron Man, if you will.
Yeah, and he airs it out. I mean, that guy's
And he's got a fucking arm. Even at his age now, he still has a solid arm. I really enjoy watching him play in general, and the relationship that he has with the receivers, how he's been able to or how he developed the relationship with Cooper Kupp when he was there. His relationship when he had Calvin Johnson in general. Like he's been able to support all these great receivers in his lifetime. So I really enjoy it. I hope he makes everything for their receiving core good. I think the one person I'm focused on in that offense is Kyron Williams. I think that he's going to be a big part of their offense now, especially with Stafford hurt. They were already a decent running team. They're going to continue to try to take the pressure off of him. And I think it's going to be a little bit more of a timeshare with Corum. I think that they're going to try to make where it's like a 70-30 so they don't wear out Williams. But they paid Williams. They want him to stay. I think that in this case, I think Williams is a solid option in a lot of leagues. And I think he's one of those guys that, he's still even not on the board. I think someone's going to pick him soon listening to this. He'll go in the 4th round. But going in the 4th round, that's a steal for your RB1. It really is. So, really excited.
There he is.
There he goes. Someone's listening to me. But no,
this is a whole
honestly,
different group of guys other than like.
Oh no, this is no one I
Bub
know.
and breaking.
I'm so happy.
And they're going a lot slower. The other guys have been ripping.
They're
through
moving.
here.
They're moving.
No.
They're
The other
good.
group was like, I think, already into the 4th.
They were done in a half hour.
Yeah, they were.
Done in a half hour. We could have done it at 9:30. Yeah, we could have kept we could have put the stream at 9:30. We could have moved our the other draft till 9:30. So
that's all. I mean, you never know. I mean, you have to give the guys the time.
So, yeah, I agree. So Dupreme goes. Kyren is Kyren. Sorry, is eternally underrated.
Yeah,
he really is. The kid is going to be something special. I'm really rooting for him to do well this season. I have him as my keeper in one of my leagues. So for me, I want him to do well.
To be that guy that reached out for him, picked him up early, and started him when who was it that went down? Williams. I forgot who was that Williams was behind at the time. But he was a waiver wire ad for me.
Probably Royce Freeman. Back when
it was Royce Freeman.
Or Ronnie Rivers.
I forgot who it was over there. But yeah, I mean, Kyron Willing got his shot, and he didn't look back.
And he took advantage.
Just running.
Oh yeah, I've been a big fan of Kyron and really wanting him to continue to do well in this offense. A little upset they got Blake, but I understood why they did it. They also drafted a guy named Hunter. So we'll wait and see how that goes. But overall, it's going to be a really interesting season for the Los Angeles Rams. They also picked up a tight end as well. Tyler Higbee ain't playing this year, so they have to roll with Ferguson. I think that's going to be a really good tight end for them to have. So he's somebody I'm kind of eyeing in some drafts, especially mostly rookie drafts, but I know a lot of you guys have already done rookie, and I'm surprised I'm not getting destroyed in the comments right now. We have my Dynasty League is not like others. They like to wait on their particular.
I would. Why not? What's the rush? I never understood it. I hate. That's what I hate about ours. They want to draft the second that the NFL draft is over.
Okay.
I'm like, let me just absorb this for a week. Let me just enjoy it. Like now we're going right into the draft the next day. I'm like, calm down. I know you're.
I like it. But, no, let's be clear. I don't mind doing a rookie draft after the NFL draft once I know the team. Because I rather try to predict from that point than to wait until now where I know, because their value is extremely different now than it is back then. You were drafting Junkins at the 5 Now he's not going until like the third or fourth. So it's one of those scenarios where some situations can work out like Junkins, where it helps them to draft later, but then it can also be other situations where you lose out on value for guys. And, guys like Mbuka was going in like the like 8th, 9th round. He's going 5, 6. So it's one of those, you lose a little bit for the good guys, and the bad guys you kind of gain a little bit of value with guys like Junkins. So, Junkins reminds me of what Jonathan Taylor to me in my head was like 2 years ago, where everyone was so on board with Jonathan Taylor. I'm sitting there like, he's not worth drafting. He just, he's coming off this. He's not going to be back till then, and then everyone drafts him and then he tears his ACL. And again, so I can't predict that. But I'm sitting there like, why would you draft him in the first place if he's coming back from a major injury? This is something that you want to wait, and especially since they weren't 100% sure on everything. So little things like that, I understand both sides of the spectrum, because then people wanted to know if he was going to be on the pup or not at that point. It's a whole thing. So,
and this goes to Perk Almighty's point. I'm in the Dynasty league. The rookie draft like 45 minutes after the NFL draft. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You can't even absorb it.
I love it.
You don't even have time to go look at, okay, who's on the roster now, what changed.
But that's the point.
No, that's not the point.
That's not at all the point.
That's the point for some guys to be taking advantage or disadvantage to some people. I don't see that what benefit that that doesn't help the competition. I don't think it does.
I don't know. I like it a little bit better. I get better value. I try making trades in Dynasty all the time at like in February comparatively. Like, I rather make my trades before free agency, but I know so many people that won't even touch their team until today. Like, come on. Like, I had a guy, I think this is like the third time I've talked about this. I had a guy in my salary cap Dynasty league that I texted him in February and went, hey, can I have do you want to draft trade a third for Mike Gesicki? This is before he went to the Bengals. And I'm like, hey, let's do it. No skin off me, no skin off of him. He's like, I'm not looking at my team until August.
What?
Exactly. It's a Dynasty league. We can trade at all different times. Like, why are you waiting until August? And then he wouldn't wait. He wouldn't do anything until August.
He wants to know he wants to see how things work out.
Well, and that was the whole thing. And I'm sitting there like, come on, you got to be kidding me. But that's the whole point. I'd rather buy these guys later, especially in Dynasty. I want to buy them, earlier in the year so that I don't have to wait until now where I'm paying premium.
Yeah.
Like, I'm paying up for so many people because all their values have just skewed to being higher because of
right.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, Perk, is this the new trend for Superflex? Are you talking about the concept of not drafting QBs like simultaneously in the first round and second round and it being a little bit more spread out? Is that what you mean? Where it's a little bit more spread out? Because
I think it is. I think that's
honestly, this is the first time I've seen it in a while. We used to almost preach. I remember the first 2 years we started. I never knew what Superflex was till I did this, and that was like 4 years ago. Now I know what it is, and we've been drafting and we've been doing it, and it makes no sense that it's not the way that it used to be, but it kind of is because all these skill players have just almost outproduced a lot of these QBs in a lot of scenarios.
As they call it, it's the new meta, and the drafting has evolved. When you first started, everybody
with the running back
with
heavy.
the first years that this was Superflex became a thing, it was like get these guys because they're few and far between, and everybody's mentality was I need to get 2 top QBs, worry about the rest later, right?
Yeah.
And that the whole mentality of getting those 2 top QBs is like so ingrained in everybody. So you would see QBs off the board off the bat. Here's sprinkle wide receiver, running back, and then more QBs. Boom, and there you go. There's round 1 and 2 are done. Then it started with the positional players, but then people were starting to do the let me see how long I can wait before I take a QB.
I remember the 0.
If everybody else is going for all the QBs, they were going 0 QB, right? They were doing the exact opposite.
I remember Wilson doing a 0 QB, And I sat there and I'm like, oh my God, this isn't a horrible team. And I'm like, this is perfect. But the Premier, he makes a good point. It's 3 wide receiver and 2 flex, which really brings down the value of a QB in a way because of those 2 flex spots. You want to fill those spots before you fill QB in some situations. Well, it's based on your thought process. I mean, most scenarios, and here's a question for you, Frank.
At the end of the day, it's 3 wide receivers, 3 flex.
Yeah, because that super flex really adds, an extra flex really if you're not using the QB. So here's my question for you there. In this type of format, are you okay with not using the QB for your super flex?
I think it goes back to what Kendall and I were talking about. If it's a 6-point per passing touchdown, I am not comfortable. If it's 4-point per passing touchdown, yes, I am comfortable. Because at that point, you have a positional player that can equal or surpass what you're going to get the work out of the QB. Because it evens out the playing field a lot more. I prefer the 6-point per passing touchdown. This is the whole point of what the QB does, and I don't understand how you play 4-point. Anyways,
I've been playing
fantasy football. Fantasy football is based on real football and what stats they get in real football. They don't give a 4 points for a touchdown. They give 6 points for a touchdown. Get it straight. Like I don't get that part.
I've been playing 4-point for the last 15 years. It changes the whole dynamic. I prefer 6 because it takes away the rushing quarterback and it makes it where basically all QBs are equal, if you will. But the 4-point QB touchdown is a very interesting it really is an interesting situation. Yeah, I honestly like it for 1 QB, then I like it more comparatively to like Superflex. I think Superflex is almost a cheat code. I prefer it for 1 QB because then teams tend to wait a little bit longer for their QB. So Perk goes, if I could grab Burrow at 109 and snag Mahomes back around at the turn, I'd feel pretty great about it. I don't know. That's just me. Honestly, I would probably be okay with that as well if you were able to do that. And in this case, Dan's almost did.
It could have happened.
It could have, but
could have picked him up.
You know what? I understood why because of the wide receiver group right there. I don't know. I kind of like how he didn't. His team is kind of working itself out the way that it should. I don't mind Judy as my 3. T-Law is my 2. Connor is the only guy that I'm a little bit. I would have probably wanted a guy like Monty or Junkins went a little early for me there. Caleb Johnson.
Quentin Junkins way early.
That's what I said. Yeah. But it's one of those things where these are all preferences. I have too many. I'm still unsure about guys like Garrett Wilson. So, yeah, I mean, we could talk about that for a minute. I mean, how do you feel about Garrett Wilson this season with a Justin Fields?
Not like I've felt in the past, man. Fields is too much of a runner.
I agree.
Not enough good passing from him to make him feel. I mean, but Wilson's has done it with bad quarterback play. That looks funky. He's done it with bad quarterback play in the past. So it's kind of like, but it's all about the number of opportunities, looks he's going to get, and the opportunity to get catches. The touches that he's going to get.
I agree. I think the hardest part about it is
sure doesn't make you feel good about it. That's for sure.
No, no. I feel really gross when I have the choice between Garrett Wilson, Higgins, or JSN, and I want to go Garrett Wilson, but I almost feel better about JSN, even though I don't really want that much of JSN. Like,
I'm not sold on Jason. Yeah, just like that.
I like JSN a lot. I think he has the ability to do well this season. I think Sam Darnold can definitely help him with that. I mean, he had a good season last year with 137 targets and 100 receptions for, 1,100 yards. And what is that? Let me double check. And 6 touchdowns. So that's not a horrible stat line for him in general, playing with Geno. I think Sam Darnold
with AJ Brown.
Yeah, well, he had what's his face? He had Lockett and Metcalf there. Now he's on his own, but he has Cooper Kupp there now. He's got Cooper Kupp there now. I don't think Kupp is I don't think he's any way, shape, or form somebody that's going to take away from him. But it's one of those scenarios where I do think it will eat into him just a smidge. But I do think the team is more of a run team than a pass team going forward. So it's going to be interesting.
Also, just a smidge.
Yeah, but Wilson's the only guy. He is the only guy. It's him and Mason Taylor. The next guy up is, do you know who's the wide receiver 2 is for the New York Jets?
No.
Josh Reynolds. So
exactly.
I am a little bit, it feels gross, but Garrett is probably the lesser of two evils. I'm not going to lie. Neanderthal goes, I've had a full on team since June 10th or so. Our boy Gotcha had us drafting hella early. Oh, he's talking about his dynasty team.
Yeah, he's
Perk goes 109. Could have had Burrow, Mahomes, Kyron, Hampton, and smash wide receiver for like 5-6 rounds. You're right. Yeah. No, he could have. It would have been an interesting build for sure. He had guys like Adams would have been gone. Moore, Smith, Myers, Metcalf, Sutton, Worthy, all good players. Breaking Ball goes, I won Superflex last year playing King Henry instead of quarterback. Hey, man, it's a smart move. If you can, you can. I think a lot of teams can. I think a lot of builds do well when they do that. I've done that in the past. My current dynasty team that me and Frank or the league that we're in, I really have no choice. I have Goff and Stroud and Kirk Cousins. Like, I don't have anybody. I need a QB. So,
I lucked out last year.
Yeah, you did.
I traded for Darnold. Dude, balls out. I was like, "This is the best."
You lucked out. You ended up beating me in the playoffs and made it so I couldn't go any farther.
I got third. It's all right.
You did. I wish I got third. I had fourth the year prior, and it was a donkey of a team. So I'm pretty happy how I got there. Perk goes, if this is a trend, I gotta adapt. Feels icky though. Yeah, man. Yeah. I think it's a trend. I think it's a trend overall, based on that particular scoring setting. But I think it would be a little different in some leagues. I've seen it go I've seen 6 QBs go off the board and then it's changed. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think a lot has to do with your positions and your scoring, right? If you have 2 wide receivers, 2 flex, 2 running backs, and you have 1 less wide receiver or 1 less flex spot, you're gonna and you're gonna want to run the QBs up a little bit more, as well as if again, the 6-point per passing touchdown that we were talking about, 4-point, that'll run them up a little bit more. But if you have in this situation where you have 3 wide receivers, 2 flex, 2 running backs, at that point you can wait a little while, and you might even be okay to wait. You might get, as long as you have 2 startable QBs, you could start a regular positional player in your flex for a bye week and do just fine. If anything, maybe even start him.
Yeah, I mean, them boys is basically saying that particular league that we were just talking about, the guy that won it rostered 1 QB for the first 2 years. So it's pretty incredible what you can and can't do. Them boys goes, with what JSN can learn from Kupp, he's going to be a monster in a couple of years. Yeah, I agree. I think dynasties, he's a lot better. Redraft, I'm a little bit nervous to take him. Just because I'm not sure what this year can be. Sam Darnold is a big factor in that, but I do think that Sam Darnold is a competent quarterback that can make him better overall. I think the team that they're building is more run heavy than people think it is. just because of the people that they have. I think that, and you saw it last year. I mean, from what Bubba just did with Zach Charbonnet, grabbing him off the board, Charbonnet took 80%.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand why they don't try to make it more of a timeshare with the two of them. One of them doing it at 70% and the other at 30 is insane to me. Try to change that up. That might work better. But because they're both competent backs, they both can do real well when out there. So Charbonnet is definitely someone I like targeting if I can in redraft. He's just, he's probably one of the better handcuffs to have in the league if possible. Perk goes that Higgins, JSN, and G-Dub tier hurts too close when all three are available. I've been leaning Wilson, but still on the fence about it. I agree. It's such a hard place to be at that point in the draft when you have those three available. I've done it too many times where I've seen that and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do. The other one is the Harrison, Wilson, and Higgins.
I'd rather lean towards Garrett Wilson and Jason because they're the one on the team, whereas Higgins is
the number two, but he's still in a passing offense that goes.
Oh yeah, that produces a lot of numbers. I just feel more comfortable with the one. That's all.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. I don't want Higgins as my number one. That's my whole thing.
But people are drafting him as their number one. I've seen a lot of these drafts that
I have too, and it's actually dragged it down for me a little bit because when I see him as a one, I just don't trust the build because I understand the reason for it. I mean, Ralph missed out on the stack with Burrow and Higgins, which is fine. I'm not one to really hate or hurt a team because of a stack or a misstack. But I would have felt a lot better as my two being a stack there with that scenario. I don't mind the Wilson pick over the Higgins pick, but I would have been happy with the Higgins pick if it was my team. But I think it worked out better for him. I don't know about the Jaden Reed pick, though. I'm not a big fan of that because he's hurt right now. I would try to avoid him if possible. I'm not a big Jaden Reed fan in general. I've been pushing him away. Who's the wide receiver you like the most in Green Bay?
It was Reed.
It was Reed. Okay.
And Christian Watson was not bad. I mean,
no, active players currently
always hurting. Always hurt.
Are you picking? Are you either picking Reed, Golden, Dobbs, or Kraft? Who are the four out of the four guys? Who do you want the most?
Kraft.
Okay. Why?
I just feel for the position, the round you're getting him at, I think you have a lot more upside than he could be your top 3 tight end this year.
Fair enough. And I'm okay.
And because of that, and there's less uncertainty with them versus the wide receivers that they have. Who's going to be the actual number one over there? Dobbs could come back. I like Dobbs late. If you could get him late, because he's like the one that's going to be coming back sooner.
Yeah.
I like him. Yeah,
no,
but
I agree.
I honestly, Kraft, I feel way comfortable with. I like drafting where he's at.
Me too.
And here's the other thing. Here's one that I've been telling people: if you're drafting Bauer so high as a tight end, you shouldn't be taking Kraft that high. Like you should be waiting for like another tight end that you only need for a bye week. You're hurting your own draft by picking. If you draft a high tight end, don't take another tight end till like way later.
The last pick, and you can grab a guy like Strange.
Yeah.
No. I understand exactly what you mean, but I don't think it really hurts him either. Having a guy like Kraft is like having the number one wide receiver for the Packers at this point.
Yeah.
I don't mind that pick because you can still use him in your flex with Bowers out there too, or you can use Bowers as your flex or whatever. It doesn't really matter. You can make it work the way that you want it to.
Yeah.
I would rather have Kraft over any of the people that just went off the board.
But in his team's scenario, if you look at it, he's only got 3 wide receivers.
No,
so far.
I'm
like, you know what I mean? Like I would have went wide receiver there easily.
No, I understand that, but the wide receivers available there were Ayuk, Reed. Oh no. Reed was off.
Oh no, Mooney
Ayuk
after that.
Godwin,
Mooney,
Burden.
I would have taken all 3 of those guys.
I wouldn't have taken any of them. I like Kraft more.
You like
I
that
agree.
more?
I agree with his pick with Kraft. my whole thing is, in this case, hold on.
Oh, bless you. Bless you. Oh, good job on the mic. The mute
Right?
mic. Good
Whew.
job.
It's rare. I don't like anybody else in the wide receiver group at that point. I probably would have went running back in any other scenario if I didn't already have certain things. Like here we have Kraft and then Charbonnet. I wouldn't mind Charbonnet here and punting until I can get Strange or someone like that in the later round. But he already has a pretty solid group where he has
Chuba, Pacheco, and Jones.
There we go.
As his running back group already.
Which,
so yeah,
honestly is a good group of running backs that I have no problem running with. It's more of it's 2 RB2s that I feel more comfortable with than most. So Perk goes, are you guys out on Brees this season? I've been doing tons of mocks and seems like Brees hate is at an all-time high. I'm okay with Brees Hall. Only caveat
even
to
if
that.
he gets traded.
So that's my caveat. I'm okay with Brees Hall. My issue, and I think the reason why he's dropping is because of all the news about the concept that Aaron Glenn wants to be more running back by committee than what Hall was. Now, I don't disagree.
Bless you too, by the way.
Oh, I know. I saw. Thanks. Thanks, Bert. I am not against them doing a running back by committee. I think it would be stupid for them to do a 3-back committee. I have no problem with it being a 2-back running back by committee and making it 60-40 with Allen, because you have a talent in Allen that could really help your team. I don't think that I am okay with grabbing him because I feel as if he is still a solid running back for a team that is they're going to need his help. They need to take the pressure off of Justin Fields. Now, the only other caveat to this is Fields will take away a little bit from his running. So his rushing totals would be a lot lower. His passing total might be up. So I like him a little more in full PPR than I do in half. In this scenario that currently happened, Softball Girl had the option of Brees Hall or Kyron Williams. I am taking Kyron 9 times out of 10. Right? Like, doesn't that feel a lot better to you than Hall?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now let's play this game. Now you're around like where I am, right? In what you would value him at.
Yeah.
I have him currently ranked at 14. I have him below Christian McCaffrey, but I always do. So, would you rather have James Cook or Brees Hall?
Cook. He just got signed.
Yeah, well, beyond being signed,
he just. I just feel like to me he's a safer bet. Period.
Fair. Kenneth Walker.
Brees Hall.
You rather have Brees Hall?
Yeah.
Kyron.
Yeah, Kyron. I'd take Kyron over that.
Okay. Chase Brown.
Chase Brown.
Hampton.
Brees Hall. Just because he's a rookie.
And you don't know what they could do.
Okay. You don't know.
Fair enough. So I agree with some of these, Perk. I like Curran over Brees. I like Brees just a smidge more than Kenneth Walker, but based on the build, I might go Kenneth. I feel a little bit better about Kenneth Walker's scenario because of the team wanting to use him 70% of the time. I don't like his injury history. He hasn't played a full season in the last 2-3 years, and he's always hurt for 2-3 out of the, and he's always, I think he has some like chest issue that he deals with or whatever. Not the biggest fan of that. Brees is usually healthy out there and a stud. So I get this one. For me, Cook all day. Better offensive line, better team, better usage. I'm taking Cook. 9
He,
times
he
out of
he and I agreed on almost all of them.
Yeah, I have Brees a little bit there. I have Chase Brown a little bit better.
Here's where we
And
differed because of
the
again,
Hampton
he's a
one.
rookie.
See, I want to know why Perk for Hampton. I understand Hampton and his ability and what he could do, and I love John Harbaugh. I've talked him up. I've talked up this Chargers offense this season. I really do think the Chargers offense has a really good chance to
We'll take
be
this down. I'm trying to say the
very
last rookie,
good.
right?
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I think he has the ability to do really well this season. The Chargers in general. I don't think Harris. Well, I didn't think. Well, I did think that Harris had the ability to take away from Hampton prior to his accident, but after the accident, I think Hampton definitely takes a bigger role. But there has been some conversations with Greg Roman recently that if it's only Hampton and Harris isn't available, they will roll with 2 running backs. So they might grab someone off of free agency, or they're going to be using Vidal and they're going to be, mixing it up a little bit, at least for the start, until they realize what they have, really. I would rather have Brees over that just because I know what Brees is comparatively, and I know what I'm getting. Hampton, I know what he is. I just don't know what it could be. They also got hurt on their offensive line, losing Slater. They're going to be moving Joe Alt to left tackle and Becton back to right guard. I like Becton at right guard, so I think that it's going to be okay. I think that it's not really a huge deal, but a lot of people disagree with what I'm thinking. I don't know if I could pull the trigger there with Hampton over Brees. Don't think I can do it. Perk goes, I like Charbonnet a lot and don't think Kenneth Walker will finish the season with Seattle rather that's with a trade to the Cowboys or injury. Yeah, fair enough. And you know what? Even if you were to go to the
like
Cowboys,
you were saying, he's always been known to be injured.
he
That's
is.
why he scares me. That's why I'm scared off of him.
I mean,
He's
the
an
last
incredible runner, but he's like,
Let me
put up the numbers there.
Well, I was going to pull it up on another one. I hate taking away from the board. His numbers for the last few years, he missed 2, 4, 6. He missed 6 last season. He missed 2 the season prior to that. And his rookie season, he only missed 2. So I'm just not, I'm a little nervous about his injury history. But I do love the type of back he is and the production that he gives. So I'm just a little bit more on board with him than most. I like him a lot where he is currently in the 5th round. Henderson, I do like a little bit ahead of him in that. I don't mind that pick right there. I just don't like having if I'm making a build like Hershey did, I don't want Henderson as my RB1, and I don't want Mixon as my RB2. That just feels gross. So let's get to Adam C. Adam C goes, there's some risk at wide receiver, but once McLaren signs and gets dealt, and if Rice has a delay suspension, I think Bubba might have crushed it here. So I don't view Rice's scenario as being that crazy. I do think that his scenario, he's going to probably get just a smidge less than Addison, in my opinion. I think he's going to get probably 1 or 2 games at the end of the day. I think he's going to get that Kansas City bump where, they help him out a little bit. I do think it's going to be something like that where it's like a game or 2. I don't think that fully affects anything. So for me in the 5th round for him in Superflex, I'm okay with. Terry McLaurin ahead of him, have no problem with that at all over what was there. I would have been fine with Tet. I would have been fine with Evans. But is he, though? See, Ralph, explain to me how, though. But they really a drunk driving thing is way worse than him just doing 170 and not killing anybody. And he ran away. He had a gun in the car. No big deal. He's in Texas. Everybody has a gun in the car. I don't know. What I keep
I just
seeing.
remember what's his name in Vegas that did the same thing. I mean, the
No,
only difference
no,
between
no,
is
no,
he
no,
didn't
no,
kill
no,
somebody.
no. Let's just be. Yeah, but killing somebody means something.
Well, of course, but I'm just
yeah.
saying it's
Well,
a stupid,
so
similar to stupid move. He could have easily have killed somebody at 100 some miles.
Oh, 110%. So Ralph, here's the thing. Rice will have his charges dismissed in 5 years. He's on probation for 5 years. And after he does his sentence, and I think he has the 30 days of jail time, which he'll do in the offseason. It's not a big deal. They're gonna, I mean, shit. I think everybody at one point in their life knows a family member or somebody that, went to jail for, the weekend and came home or whatever for a short period of time. My uncle did. I can't even, it happens. But my point is that after all that's done, all the charges are dismissed on him. That's the big thing about Rice's case and why they haven't issued anything yet, is because his charges will be reduced to nothing after 5 years of him doing it. So it's one of those scenarios where he got a bigger charges, if you will, and his sentence was, a little bit different. I don't think it fully affects him. I don't think he's going to get more than 3. I don't think he's going to get anything close to higher than that. That's just me. So he goes, Addison got charged for wet and reckless. Yeah, no, I saw the charges that he got. Like I said, I just don't think that really affects Rice. I think if anything, it gives us a good barometer of where he'll be. And I think it's anywhere between 1 and 3. So we'll wait and see how that turns out.
Did we skip Procol Mighty on that one?
Say it again.
Did we skip this one?
Greg Roman is going to fall in love with Hampton. Yeah, no, I agree. I know he will. I'm just Najee. I don't think Najee is done though. With his eye, maybe. But his ability.
Najee has one eye. It's wraps.
Yeah, it's done. I was so high on Najee.
Well, I want to go back to this real quick because
yeah, go ahead.
Dipperman did reply about it. It's look at who's available around Kraft. I think we kind of went over that. Who's available if he breaks out. I have a great flex, and I do agree. I like Kraft. I like Kraft late. I just don't like, I guess, Bowers early, and then it kind of leaves you open to having to do that. Or he was best player available, I think, at the time. So
I agree.
We're not hating on you that much.
So Dem Boys goes, what do you think of my build going 2 QB early? I feel like I got the end of the tier on each of my picks in round 2 and 3 and 4, so I like it. So I like the Knicks. So he's got Lamar Jackson, Jonathan Taylor, Bo Nix, Mike Evans, Kenneth Walker, J-Mo, Zay Flowers. He's got Robinson with Fat Boy Samuel, Brandon Ayuk and Harris, who we were just talking about, Tillman, Kincaid, Mason Taylor, who I like. It's a solid build. I don't think it really hurt anything. I think you did pretty well overall. I probably would have went. I might have went a different route than you with a couple of the players, but that's my own thought process. I do like Jackson and Nix as your 2 QBs. If you're going to go that route with that build, I don't think you're losing anything skipping out on Bunky. If you're picking Nix over Bucky, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I don't mind the build. Like I said, I'm not going to give away my hand right away, but. So Adam C goes, love the Tracy Charbonnet IG cluster. Okay. We've already talked about that. So D Premier goes, not sure about the team comp with Bowers Chase would have led to a better team, I think. Which one is it? This one. So he says, not sure about the team comp with
Bowers and Chase, yeah.
would lead to a better team, I think. I mean, I like the team. Oh, he's saying Chase over Bowers. Yeah, I probably would have liked it with Chase with Bowers a lot better. I like it as a whole, and I don't mind it, but Chase definitely would have made that team a lot better. And then having Kraft later, that would have solidified you as number one for me, maybe after I looked at everything.
Good take.
So
Good take. Yeah.
Hershey's build is pretty good. Like Ramondre and Hendo duo. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't like investing too much into one team, and especially the Patriots. I'd rather go a different route. If I'm going to invest in the same team, I want them,
different positions.
Well,
don't
no,
stack
not even different. I don't like
stacking
running backs, but I don't mind it if you're grabbing a good offense and you're trying to grab two. If you grab a guy like Walker and Charbonnet, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'd rather have those two dynamic players. You want Bijan and Tyler Algier? Go for it. Makes more sense. But if you're doing a guy like Henderson and Stevenson, I don't like it as much. Just because of the offense. I'd rather have a better offense than I'm doing that. Or even Gibbs, like Lando Nice did. Gibbs and Monty. That's not a bad deal right there. So, Perk, you charged a few people with wet and reckless. You're a cop.
Damn, I better stop doing what I do on the show.
Yeah, shit.
No, just kidding.
I gotta get my act together now. Oh, I didn't know you were a cop. Are you a cop? I can't do the Boston accent. I'm not a big Boston guy. Everyone thinks I am from Boston, even though I'm from Long Island. Anyway, them boys goes really wanted Waddle and thought I'd get him after the turn. Should have went with him over JMO. Yeah, man. I mean, that's why we do what we do.
I like JMO over Waddle. So
I like JMO over Waddle too, and it's really just the QB. Waddle's good, but he always tends to get hurt. I don't think anyone noticed.
And whatever's going on in Miami is kind of crazy.
Well, everything going on in Miami is crazy. But he always tends to get hurt. And it's always during the game in like the first play. Like I've seen him just like evaporate. And then you don't see him for the whole game. And then he just shows up randomly throughout the game. And it makes no sense. He played all season. And he was out for 2 games. But I don't remember seeing him for any of it because he always seemed to be out. It just doesn't make
that's
any
it. The jig is up. I'm with the Fed. Sorry to interrupt you. That's breaking news.
Oh, God. I hope you're. Well, Perk, if you're one of those that are in D.C. right now, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah.
But either way, I didn't know you were Fed. It's fine. But wet and reckless, man. I got to learn a little more about it. Like I said, for those that are trying to find out more about legal stuff, follow Drew Davenport. Really one of the better guys out there that really knows his stuff. He's from Football Guys. Really solid defense attorney. So look him up.
Let you know I'm in California, so it's all good.
So Adam C goes, rather take Javonte than Stevenson if I already have Hendo. Same. I would have done that. I would have preferred that. I would have. Yeah, I probably would have done that.
DC. And just to go back to that, I think he definitely at the season. I'm definitely out on having Hendo.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Yeah, I rather have Williams too. If I'm gonna do that, for sure. I just don't trust having the two. I'd rather have Hendo. Henderson is probably the better bet, and then having Stevenson on his own on a different team might have been a better idea. But I would have probably wanted Williams or could I? Yeah, no, you couldn't get Travis. I was going to say get Travis Etienne, but you couldn't get him.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to stack a running back. So it's better not. Just don't do it.
Yeah. Most of the time,
you could handcuff a guy because obviously that guy's never going to see the field unless McCaffrey goes down. Then you got the handcuff, right? Yeah. You got Derrick Henry goes down, you get the handcuff.
Wow,
that's the deal, right? But to get a guy who may or may not play is splitting carries with it. I don't know. I think it's going to be a more of a split backfield, anyways. Myself, over there in New England. So I know
it's going to have to be, especially with Josh McDaniels running the show for them and Vrabel. Vrabel is, well, McDaniels has always been notorious with not knowing what running back you're going to get. Henderson is more built for the James White role in that particular offense. So for him to see more of the field is definitely going to happen. Stevenson, I'm not sold on, but I do think he'll have a piece in this offense. But once they see what he can do, it's going to be like Gibbs. It's going to be a scenario where you're just going to see a huge change. So we'll wait and see. So,
Perfect.
Perk goes, do either of you have a hot take or a call your shot take on a player this year? Something the consensus of fantasy players don't have. Ooh. So I already gave mine out. I already did mine at the beginning. It's Tracy as a top 15 back. That's mine. I am sticking to that as my bold prediction. That is one of my biggest hot takes, is Tracy being a top 15 top 15 back in full PPR. I think he has the ability to do it, especially where he is, where he's being drafted. I mean, in here, as you can see, he went in the 9th round again. So steadily in the 9th round, where he can be your RB, 3. I really think that he can be a league winner for your team in a lot of ways. So yeah, really like him. What about you, Frank? Do you have any?
I don't have one yet. I'm gonna once I get my rankings finished up, that's when it's gonna be like, okay, here's the value, here's the guy. He's going so late. He's probably gonna be your league winner. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna draft this guy late. People are just ignoring or skipping over him, whatever it is that may be, just going late, and he's gonna be the guy. I'll find somebody. And one of my likes though is Kraft that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, no,
He's going so late that he could be a top guy for you, and it's just, I mean, just where he's getting him at. This is one of the higher drafts that I've seen him taken. Usually, he's going down around the Njoku or Kincaid area, which is another 2 rounds later.
Yeah, I mean,
so
he
you're getting
finished
even
tight
more
end
value.
7. He finished tight end 7 last year. There's nothing outside. He is in the realm to be in the top 3. He only had 70 targets last season, and it had a lot to do with his touchdowns. He had 7 touchdowns, which made him 3rd or 4th highest in touchdowns with QBs or with tight ends. I like a little more and more Travis Kelce, a little bit. It's just because his value dropped.
Yeah.
Like now he's in the 8th, 9th. He feels a lot better. I prefer Ingram, but
He's being drafted the way he should be.
Yeah.
Now, not, he's not the same
and
guy.
he called it. He said it on a podcast recently. He's like, other things got in my head. That's what happens when you start dating and married or whatever to these A-list stars. I'm surprised it hasn't affected Josh Allen as much as it has. I'm not going to lie. So Ralph goes, I think Bigsby is so underrated this year. It's so hard to kind of take it right now. It's very hard to understand the Jacksonville offense, especially the running backs. He's part of the old regime. He's been hurt in camp. You have Travis Etienne, who's been hyped up by Liam Cohen, and he came in and was like, oh my God, this guy can do everything. Okay. And they brought in Tootin, who's pretty good in his own right. I think he kind of takes a back seat. That's my opinion. We'll see what happens, but I do not doubt the talent. It's just his situation. So Neanderthal goes Cup. So I'm assuming something with Cooper Kupp in being a top something back.
Wide receiver, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perk goes. Getting tired.
It's gonna be the last one here. I'm gonna call it.
Yeah. I gotta call it a night soon, boys and girls. Perk goes. My hot take is Roma Dunze will be a top 10-15 easily. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Ben Johnson's gonna make him a superstar. Honestly, I'm kind of on that boat as well. I don't think it's going to be Rome, but I do think it's going to be DJ Moore a little more. But I do think Rome can be a little bit more. He'll have a little bit more room to roam because of Keenan Allen not being there. And, Burton will be involved, but not as much. Breaking Ball goes Jordan Mason will win your league and Christian Kirk will bounce back this year. I hope so, man. I love Christian Kirk. I've always been a fan of Christian Kirk. Him going as the Mr. Irrelevant in our league for the Houston Texans. I think they'll definitely use him a lot more. They're going to try to use him as Tank Dell. I think that's how it's going to be with him. Higgins on the outside, him on the him in the slot. I don't hate those takes. Really don't. So Adam C goes, you're tripping on big. You're tripping on Bigsby. ETN will have the role, and he will still get carried, and they will want to get them the touches too. Bigsby will need an injury. I agree. He's going to need a lot to get him there. Perk goes, Tank is the most talented running back in Duval County. Not worried about Tutton this year. Okay. I mean, it's fair. It's just, it's so hard to gauge that particular offense. I think ATN is the only one that solidified some type of role one way or another.
Yeah,
I think
agree with that.
I think he's clear, but the thing is that you're getting him in the 10th round, which is almost a steal as well. So I think ETN is another guy that you should keep an eye on, even though I don't think he could be up there with Tracy. I do think that he can be in the top 20 and do well. Adam C goes and might be most complete, but don't think he is special at anything other than other guys can say that they are. At least that's something. Yeah. That Neanderthal said Cup. That was the sleeper.
Yeah.
Ralph goes, Tank apparently won the job preseason per the beat reporter. Okay. I'll look into it. It's worth noting. I mean, he is a tank. I mean, that's his.
Yeah, I like Tank.
Nickname.
Don't get me wrong. But
like I said, I like him.
like,
I don't. From what I kept reading, he didn't really beat anybody out, and he was injured. But I could be wrong. It's 11 o'clock here. I'm tired, so my brain is already gone, and I need to get some sleep. So, everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Me and Frank. We will be. Trying to be back tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But we will definitely, for sure, be here on Friday, regardless, to give you guys the semifinal group.
Let's see who gets a golden ticket.
Well, we'll let you guys know who gets a golden ticket on both of these for these two drafts. But yeah, we'll see who's going to be getting the golden ticket to our championship best ball match that we're going to be having on the 29th. So make sure you guys keep tuned to that. Make sure you guys are joining our Discord if you haven't already. Our Discord is in the description below. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the show as well. Make sure you guys are also liking and subscribing to Kendall and Phil's show, the Fantasy Football Tavern and the Extra Point. So make sure you guys check them out as well. We will see you guys, like I said, either tomorrow or Friday, most likely on Friday. I am busy tomorrow, so I am not going to be around. So unless Frank,
I might run this thing by myself, man. It don't even matter.
Hey, man.
Let's see how it goes. We'll see how it goes too, because I'm super busy at work right now. Literally out of work OT. That's crazy.
There you go. Well, that's my whole point. So we'll see how we are tomorrow, but we will definitely be here on Friday. We're not going to miss that. We will be posting both. We're going to have a 9 p.m. and a 10 p.m. one, but we're going to do like we did today and keep both going at the same time. So check us out there. Make sure you guys also check out Underdog Fantasy if you haven't already. Make sure you guys, it's that time of year. We're almost done with best ball, so get in there while you can. Please make sure if you're new to Underdog, use promo code GETRIGHT, and they will. What are they doing these days, Frank?
Oh, it's a $50 match right now.
They're going to match at up to $50.
Yeah, I think it's $50 match right now,
which is fantastic. So make sure you guys check that out. Make sure you guys are registering if you haven't already and using that promo code GETRIGHT so that we can help you guys out a little bit. They're going to have Pick'em going as the year goes on with the games starting week 1. They have all their best ball stuff, all their best ball mania
happening right now. I need to get a couple in right now.
Hey, man, I've been doing it consistently all the time. I pretty much have an alert every 10 minutes. So make sure you guys check that out. We will see you guys on Friday, most likely over any of the other ones. So I'm just going to say Friday for sure. But if we're here tomorrow, you'll see us here tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Frank, thanks so much. I can't wait. All right.
Peace out.
Peace.
Wanted to white fantasy is the play. Marking off and